Good evening everybody and welcome to Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live for rounds 96 to 99 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. I'm Andrew Woodhouse alongside Alex Simpson on cameras and Adam Bath. And Adam, we're at Silverstone National, and I know the last time we were here it was a fantastic race meeting, and we're hoping for more of the same today.
Yeah, it provides great racing. The Silverstone National Circuit and the BSR TC. 4 more races coming up. We're about to reach the 100th race mark in the series, and the championship's just getting better and better. Last time we were here, of course, in the Winter Series, we had a finish that was separated by less than a tenth, the top 3. I wonder if we'll see the same again. We had 2 wide, I think, for 3 laps in a row completely. So a lot of great racing there here the last time we were here, and I think we'll see the same again tonight.
Well, it's a classic circuit, of course. It's a shortened version of the old Silverstone circuit. We've got 4 races tonight, and we're in for some really exciting stuff. Now the championship standings, Adam, getting very interesting towards the showdown rounds.
Yes, let's have a look at the standings then. Going into this race meeting, Stelian Shepelevsky leads Alex Smolensky by 322 points. David Baker is in 3rd. Dan Kraft down 2 positions to 4th. Jamie Fluke is in 5th, with Wojciech Savilovic in 6th position. Richard Gore up in 7th place. He got pole position twice in the 4 races we had here last season. Pete Newman is in 8th. Michael Shellback down 4 positions to 9th. Jamie Rushworth rounds out the top 10 there. Over in the Pro-Am standings, Roy Verke now leads ahead of Jay Wright. Paul Smith in 3rd. Nick McCarron 4th. Matt Bunn 5th. Andrew Whitehead in 6th with his Boosted Motorsport teammate John Roberts in 7th. Laura Bond 8th. Scott Malcolm 9th. And Liam Atkins in 10th. Finally, over in the team standings, Race Over CQR lead Alfa Latek comfortably by 331 points. 33 points back from them, it is Apex Racing. So Apex Racing still in with a shot here at getting a team's title. Sim Racer in 4th, Simpson Racing 5th, Friction Racing 6th, Engine All Direct leading the Pro-Am teams in 7th, Boosted Motorsport 8th, CQR Academy 9th, Team Automech 10th, Spicer Haas 11th, Eurochip Digital 12th, and Mainland Racing in 13th.
Alright, well, what are the keys in your opinion to this Silverstone circuit? We saw that cars can run 2 wide for most of the lap. Of course, now we have a more dynamic track surface than we had back in the Winter Series. Is this going to play a part, do you think?
I think it's all going to be about the entry and exit of all the corners here, and that's why we were able to get the side-by-side racing, because drivers, some of them would go in way too deep but still have a run going down the Wellington Straight towards Brooklyn. So it's a track that really allows for the side-by-side racing that we saw in the Winter Series last year, and I think even with the new dynamic surface that we've got here, we'll probably see more of the same. And yeah, such a quick circuit, the slipstream will be playing a big factor as well.
Just see the current qualifying standings going through on the left-hand side of your screen there, and it's extremely close currently with Wojciech Savilovic atop the standings, but the top 29 drivers separated by only 1 second. It really is a close circuit. Obviously, a lot of things can happen here. Slipstream in effect, of course, and we're looking at the likes of potentially Ash Sutton, very good on the brakes, to provide some of our entertainment here tonight.
Looking at the qualifying time, Savilovic 57.122. We still haven't beaten the pole position time from last season. Jamie Fluke, who was on pole here and took the race 1 win, his pole position time was a 57.072. We've still got just the final moments of the qualifying session to go. We'll see if anyone can beat that time.
Yep, not long left. Just a few people on the last few flying laps. See Jamie Fluke there for Apex Racing. I think he's just going through to start a lap. It really is important to get a good run out of the Luffield corner. Seems to be everlasting, that right-hand corner onto Woodcut and starting the lap here on the National Circuit. Of course, Silverstone's been vastly changed since iRacing came and scanned this layout, but we still love the National Circuit. It's still in use to this day, and having watched some races here late last year with the Formula Fords going around here, we know that it still produces some excellent action out there on the track. As qualifying is officially over, but we have still cars running around the circuit. Fluke coming through, Maggots and Beckett's all important exit onto the Wellington Straight, which of course is now the main DRS zone on the Formula 1 track.
Hugo Melro and Michael Shellback have set exactly the same time, 57.297. See if anyone's able to improve. Jamie Fluke just heading into Brooklands now. Tricky spot on the circuit, of course, one of the key overtaking spots as well. And now into Luffield. He's got Alex Smolensky in front of him. I wonder if the Sim Racer car would have been providing him with a bit of slipstream down the straight there.
Well, going from Diogo Melro in 7th all the way down to Nathan Davis in 24th, he's only just under 4/10 of a second, so it really illustrates just how closely matched this field is. If someone's had a crash,
That's Michael Hall, and that's Ash Sutton.
Cop's corner there, so Luke comes across. Does he improve? He stays 6th, so
57.4.
57.4, so 1/10 slower than his previous best. So Adam, with that in order, take us through the grid for round 96.
Okay, so we have about 40 cars all set to take the first race of the evening. Wojciech Savidovic, is on the pole position. Dan Craft 2nd, Ross Balfour 3rd. So 2 friction racing cars inside the top 3. Ash Sutton in 4th. He got a podium here in the Winter Series. That was his only podium of the evening, though, so we'll see if he can get another one tonight. Alex Smolensky in 5th, Jamie Fluke, Winter Series champion, in 6th. Diogo Melro 7th, Michael Schellbach in 8th. 9th, Stelian Shepelevsky in 10th, it is Matt Bunn. Michael Hall is in 11th, Richard Gore in 12th. 13th, David Baker. 14th, Russell Laidler. 15th, George Simmons. Julian Janowski in 16th, who took the BSR Kia World Series on Saturday night. Kip Stevens in 17th. 18th, Ben Hackerson. 19th, Laura Bond. And 20th is Nick McCarron. Ricardo Ferreira in 21st. Cesario Rizzo 22nd. 23rd, Steve Hefford. Nathan Davis is in 24th. Jay Wright 25th. Rob Fagg 26th. Lee Berridge will start in 27th place. 28th, Stuart Atkinson. Stuart Atkinson's teammate Andrew Whitehead will start in 29th with Michael Blake in 30th, Roy Ververke 31st. And then 32nd, not setting a time, Colin Cunniff. He lost out on a win here by 1,000th of a second in the Winter Series. Pete Newman in 33rd, Jamie Rushworth, Season 4 champion, in 34th. Dan Hunt in 35th, Paul Smith 36th, John Roberts in 37th. Scott Malcolm and Rob Graham, 2 Scots there, 38th and 39th respectively. And at the back in 40th, it is Liam Atkins.
All right. Quite a lot of quick drivers at the back of this field with what I presume are penalties. We didn't see any crashes in qualifying, did we? So I don't think any of them came a cropper there. But Smith, Cunniff, Newman, Rushworth, Hunt, all down there. We could see some great charges through the field in this opening race.
We've seen so far this season, of course, it's taken a few races for these guys to get to the front. But Silverstone, judging from the racing that we saw in the Winter Series, we could see them flying through the field. Very tricky, of course, Beckett.
Yes, and especially with slightly colder tyres on the first lap, it really does mean that caution as well as speed is needed. And we've seen many an accident at Cop's Corner over the years. Well, hopefully we won't get any here today. We've got about 35 seconds left before the field... Well, we go. In fact, I think it's less than that. So, we're almost ready for the start then here at Silverstone National. Round 96 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship.
Green, green, green!
He's green now. Good start by Wojciech Savidovic. And alongside him is Daniel Kraft. Kraft trying to make the outside line work. If he's going to make it work, it's going to be in race 1 where there are no marbles on the outside to affect his line. But it's the Polish driver into the lead, ahead of the Brit, and there is already a slow down penalty, it looks like, for Alexander Smolensky, I believe that is.
Looks like he might have served it by the time we get to Beckett, so now
he's gone wide.
Got to try and negotiate our way through now, and it's going to allow the Apex Racing car of Jamie Fluke to shoot up the inside. Of course, Fluke won race 1 here in the Winter Series last season, and now the slipstreaming can begin, and it's the Alphalatech car Shellback bump drafting Alex Smolensky down the Wellington straight. Yeah,
Shellback and 41 Diogo Melrose getting contact there, Balfour, and is that's Sutton, isn't it? So Balfour, I'm amazed he didn't have suspension damage there, the Northern Irishman. There's a cone stuck on the front of one of the Simpson racing cars, and that's Diogo Melro. So you got Melro with
I hear crashing.
I can hear something going on in the background. What's that? Big crash on Woodcote. Massive one.
We've got an Apex car involved. Alex will be devastated. Russell Laidler, we've got Jay Wright involved. We've got Ricardo Ferreira as well, who started quite high up the field. So a few big names involved in some big teams. Quite
a few cars crashed off there. I wonder if we'll be able to get a replay of that at some point. But meanwhile, it is the lead for Wojciech Savidovic. There is a replay here. Let's just see exactly what happened. It looks like it started around Ben Hackerson, just behind Hackerson. Oh, look at that. It was a Team Hard car. And Team Hard car went off. Who is that Team Hard car? Really not sure, but he came back on and smashed into quite a few guys, including an Alphalatech car. Cars flying through the air. It was difficult to see who that was. Don't know if you've got the identity of that green Team Hard car there, Adam.
It was Russ. I think it might have been Russell Lader in the Alphalatech car. Ricardo Ferreira might have been the Team Hard car, because...
Yeah, it was potentially. Yeah, Ferreira, yeah. Because he's out now, along with McCarran, Wright, and Laidler.
Oh, look at this. We've got 3 wide potentially going into Maggots and Beckett's. Richard Gore is in the mix, and Julian Janowski, who wrapped up the World Series title, and Laura Bond flying up the inside there of Matt Bunn going into Beckett's. And they're now going to go side by side down the straights, the Wellington straight.
Yeah, Laura Bond flying the flag for Team Hard, then Spicer Hart, they formerly were. He's going to have a look into Brooklands on, that's Bunn, isn't it? Matt Bunn, 12. Oh! Sideways, Laura Bond there. You've got to keep the tyres in shape, you've got to keep the car obviously pointing forwards, but there's little sliding as possible in this Kia Optima.
Of course, the exit of the corners are so important here that you want to minimise the lack of traction so you can get the best possible run down these long straights.
So Melrose and Hall following the Alphalatech car of Michael Shellback.
Good start from Shellback. He started in 8th up to 6th place. Diego Melrose having a little look at the inside there. 15 laps, one of the shortest tracks we've got really on the BSR TC calendar. And here comes Jamie Fluke on Ross Balfour.
From the shortest in length, but definitely one of the most competitive. Fluke and Balfour battling into Brooklands. Balfour has the inside, Fluke the outside. Oh, and that's very close indeed.
We have seen it work in the past. Cars getting a run around the outside of Brooklands and lunging up the inside into Luffield. Jamie Fluke wasn't able to get it done there, but he was close.
The outside of Luffield might as well not exist because you definitely can't overtake there, but you're right, Brooklands is a good overtaking spot. You can have a lunge. Ashley Sutton dropping down the order. What's happened to him?
Rolling back to find out what happened to the MG driver.
Because he looks like he's out of the race, or at the very least severely damaged.
I might have had a connection issue. I'm struggling to find him.
So we're going to try and find out what happened to Ashley Sutton, but in the meantime, it is Wojciech Svidovic leading, Daniel Kraft second, who has had a fantastic second half of this season in the BSR TC this year. Yeah, Sutton has DNF'd. Ross Balfour in third, Jamie Fluke fourth, Michael Shellback fifth, sixth Diogo Melrose, seventh Michael Holt, eighth is Alex Smolensky, ninth Richard Gore, and 10th is Julian Janowski. Svidovic coming under increasing pressure here, Adam. And you've got to wonder whether, Dan Kraft in the form that he's in, is he a bit of an irresistible force here?
It'd be hard to bet against him. And Dan Kraft with 8 wins to his name this season. Svidovic hasn't won in a while. Of course, he knows that with the wins he's taken this season, 14 of them, he's definitely going to be in with a shot getting into the showdown. Looks like technical issues, by the way, for Ash Sutton. But Dan Kraft looking this way and that into Maggots and Beckett. Svidovic putting the car right in the middle of the circuit, making sure that the friction racing car can't get by. Selin Chepelevsky keeping a watchful eye on these two, squabbling in third position.
The two men with the combined 22 wins then, looking to battle it out for this one particular win here at Silverstone. Into Brooklands goes Wojciech Svidovic. Daniel Kraft tries to cut back slightly into Luffield, but no room to be had there. Fantastic camera shot there on the rear bumper of Wojciech Svidovic's car, just showing just how close Daniel Kraft is.
The lap times are like when we come round to start lap 7 of the race, approaching half race distance here. 57.6 for Svidovic, 57.5 for Dan Kraft. Of course, Kraft picking up a useful bit of tow down the Wellington straight, helping him out quite a bit.
Fastest lap of the race at the moment is Jamie Fluke on 57.3. So he's going pretty well in 4th place. He's shook off the attention of Ross Balfour, and now he's heading towards this pack at the front. Meanwhile, into Beckett's, there is a chance by Smolensky up the inside of Michael Hall in the 12 car, and it looks like Smolensky's got that one done, but Hall will, as we've seen many times Adam before, especially in the Winter Series, he will run that car around the outside, and he'll have the inside for Brooklands, which is this tightening corner where you can go side by side if you're careful. Careful isn't necessarily a word I associate with Hall and Smolensky, but they managed to do it without disaster there this time.
Yeah, so many times you can run out wide through Beckett's, and we always think that the move is done, but then they always come back, and Michael Hall's not giving up. It's a sort of side-by-side racing that we saw last season, and now Richard Gore's coming into the frame here. Of course, Richard Gore took pole position in 2 of the 3 reverse grids that we had in the Winter Series, hence the name, the Richard Gore button.
Richard Gore button was in full effect. Trying to push the buttons now of Hall and Smolenski. But where does he go in this situation, Adam? He doesn't want to back off too much. There is a threat from behind, and that is from Julian Janowski. And now you see again, Hall this time defends a lot better. It's a much better run off the Beckett's corner. Under the bridge on the back straight.
Incredible to see it's incredible to see the run that you can get off the exit like Smolenski there, because I thought that Richard Gore was going to get the position, but Smolenski was able to hold on to it for the moment, and now Janowski getting onto the back of him.
Especially if the wind's in your favour, you really do get a nice slipstream down the Wellington Straight. And seen many overtaking moves there already in its fairly short history, have been used regularly. And it looks like the lead for Savinovic is not very much at all. It's just 0.2 of a second over the line. And there you can see it. 0.2 of a second, that's what that looks like. Daniel Kraft looking for any way to get through. Having a look is... Now that's... is that Stelian Chepelevsky? He's 1 lap down, isn't he? So he's not part of this fight. So when I was saying Fluke was 3rd, he's actually... Sorry, when I was saying he's 4th, he's actually 3rd.
Interesting. So Stelian Chepelevsky involved in issues, and now here comes Kraft round the outside into Brooklands. He should have the inside for Lovefields, but Savinovic gets a great exit and just leaves the door open for Dan Kraft to get back up the inside. But we see time and time again, we're going to go side by side for quite a long time now, and we've got 6 laps to go. I wonder who's going to come out on top here, because you can run side by side, as we've seen many times, for a whole lap. Let's see who's going to get the position into Copse.
Wojciech got a better run out there as well. And Chepelevsky wants past, doesn't he? He wants back onto the lead lap.
Of course, if Cheppy stays 1 lap down, he'll still be a classified finisher.
Yes.
But, yeah.
So that's really, if you think about it, the best place for him to be is pretty much here, because he's not in danger of finishing with no points at the moment. But Fluke and Balfour are catching slowly, aren't they? Last lap it was 0.2 of a second, 0.3 of a second was the gap, was the amount that Fluke and Balfour were quicker.
Of course, if you're running side by side with another car, you're definitely going to lose time, and yeah, that's how Jamie Flick was quicker. Stelian Chepelevsky, by the way, would be the beneficiary if we had a full reverse grid. Of course, he's the only car 1 lap down, so he's the last classified driver. So we've got a full on the reverse grid. It would be pole position for Stelian Chepelevsky. That's
another reason why he doesn't want to jeopardise his position by even getting involved in this lead battle. I'd have just snaked back down somewhere into the, into a gap somewhere, as this is Colin Cunniff. And he's trying to attack one of the Team Hardcars. That's Cesare Rizzo in a very good 19th place. Don't think where did he start? I think he started about 27, 28, so good start, good race for Rizzo at the moment.
Starts at 22nd as the Alfa Latek car of Dan Hunt. And it looks menacingly behind Colin Cunniff there, who seems to have an awful luck with hardware issues the last few race meetings.
Yeah, and these two have got some company from a former champion, David Baker, 22nd place, started at the back with what I assume was a penalty left over from the last race meeting. And he's worked his way up to 22nd in that number 3 car. Oh, it's contact at Lovefield, and it's Bond and Hackerson. That was over 13th place, Bond down to 15th. She's going to lose another place to Steve Hefford, and possibly to Kip Stevens, and maybe even to
Jamie Rushworth.
Jamie Rushworth, yeah, where's he come from?
All former teammates, of course. These 3 were back in the day, all under the Elite Martini stable, or the I've got the name, New Homes Digital last season.
Now driving for 3 separate teams, although there is a working relationship between Team Hard and Sim Racer Magazine. Look at this behind that as well, Adam. We've seen what's going on just behind this the front of this group. That was Colin Cunniff up the inside.
Of Rizzo, yeah, and here comes Dan Hunt to try and get past the Team Hard car as well. David Baker hasn't been able to do it just yet, but he is picking up the slipstream off the back of Cesare Rizzo. Might try and go through the middle, but goes to the outside into Brooklands. Rizzo lunging up the inside there, just not able to stop the Alfa Latek car of Hunt.
Baker needs to be careful of Baker. He's got the overlap. Oh yeah, and he has driven it into the corner just well enough. Rizzo he locked up, went a little bit wide, not really going to recover from there, although he will still overlap the racer with CQR car.
Until lap 13 of the race then. Second half of the race has flown by as Richard Gore goes wide through Copse, back on. Now side by side with Nathan Davis, and side by side in front of him is Alex Smolensky and Michael Hall.
Yeah, Dan Kraft leads with 3 laps to go.
Contact there between Hall and Smolensky.
So we've missed that somewhere.
Oh, well, Dan Kraft's been in the lead for a while, I think. Andrew?
Has he?
Yeah, we saw the move.
There we go.
Only race 1.
I'm sure Savinovic. Never mind. But meanwhile, Jamie Fluke is behind these two. God damn it.
Right, Jamie Fluke has dispatched Stalin Chepelevsky, so we now have a real free card battle for the race lead with 2 laps to go.
I think Stellion's decided that he better to be safe than sorry on this one. But can Savinovic wrestle the lead back from Daniel Kraft then?
Oh, he's looking up the inside into Maggots. But that's going to be tough because it immediately goes right, and Kraft has got the line to push him wide.
Oh, look at that, side by side through Beckett's.
Careful, we've seen quarter panels here in the past, and
each other.
He's got an overlap.
Oh, we've seen massive quarter panels with people ending up in the fence at the side of that bridge.
And Savinovic is back up the inside. Is he going to make the corner? No, he's not. But he's back up the inside into Luffield.
Still there.
And now it's going to be like last season.
The door's just slightly ajar. Can he kick it through? And look at Jamie Fluke.
Oh no, he might be hung out to dry here, Dan Kraft, last lap.
Fluke needs to try and force an opening here on the last lap, but he's not going to go up the inside into Copse corner.
Kraft fighting back around the outside. And now, I was going to say here comes Chepelevsky, but he's got no involvement in this, and Savinovic is clear.
Yeah, Savinovic. He'll be very happy with that he's managed to get that move done.
Kraft closing up under braking,
Ooh,
gets a little bit sideways, and a bit of contact, yeah, and it might have spoiled his exit.
Ruined his exit completely. And in the end, he's going to struggle to hang on to second place here instead of challenging for the lead. Vidovic looks like he's got this one in the bag, providing he manages. Oh, I tell you what, this is brilliant
braking.
Wonderful. Can he do anything into the final corner?
Going to be tough. Savinovic, pole position, no lights to, wasn't necessarily lights to flag, but he started on pole and he's going to take the opening race of the night.
Wojciech Savinovic then comes back from some adversity to win round 96 at Silverstone. That was a great battle, race long between him and Daniel Kraft. Jamie Fluke did exceptionally well to just get on the back of those guys and finish only a few tenths behind. David Baker coming over in 20th. He finished well just behind Laura Bond. Stuart Atkinson in 28th for Boosted Motorsports. And I think we've still got some finishers. Michael Blake and John Roberts. John Roberts was in the wars earlier on, as you can see by the state of his Kia Optima, but he's going to come through and finish 32nd. Who's that just behind him? The friction car just behind. Oh, that was actually Dan Kraft, wasn't it? So Roberts is just on the lead lap there.
Yeah, 56 seconds behind, which is very much nearly a lap.
And they very nearly caught him by the time he came over the line there. So John Roberts comes across 32nd. If we have a full, it will actually go to what appears to be Rob Graham. We'll have to get some confirmation of that. But that was a really exciting first race and one of the best one-on-one battles I think we've seen, Adam, in this series this season.
Yeah, and it's good to see Savinovic back at the top. He hasn't won a race in 6 races and has only finished in the top 5 once in 6 races. So good to see him back at the front of the field. And of course, podium credits and another win. So that's win 15 of the season for Savinovic. He continues to streak far ahead of the rest in terms of all-time wins. And the season 6 champion doing what needs to be done there. And
yeah, and that's the reason that was an important defence of that race, wasn't it, as well? Because Dan Kraft's the form man at the moment. He can't let him get any closer in the standings. In the showdown lineup with those podium credits, you know, that's all important for him.
Yeah, just looking at Dan Kraft's results the last few weeks. He's been on the podium a lot. He's been on the podium in almost every single race meeting. In some cases, twice. 4 weeks ago, he was on a second and a first. He had a third and a second. He's had a second 3 weeks ago, and a third in the last race meeting at Monza. So he's racking up the podium credits as well. I haven't got the showdown points open, but I'm sure he's got a lot.
All right.
Adam, I
wonder if you could take us through the the showdown points. We have the showdown points here as of at least before this race. Wojciech Svidovic had 77 points, Rushworth had 52, Kraft 51, Chepelewski 48, Fluke 47, Baker 44, Schellbach 41, Walensky 18, Gore 15, Newman 11, and then Simmons and Fielder at the moment, the wild cards. They will start with 0, because obviously they are just the wild cards. They've got in there on race wins and not points.
Of course, Andreas Katz got in the showdown last season as a wild card, and of course he lost his podium credits, and that was so crucial in the final round of the season, where him and Job were separated by just a point going into the final race meeting of the season.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'll want to. He won't be able to probably do it this year, but next season you would think that he'll be raring to go and ready to try and claim that title that has eluded him for a few seasons. Adam, if you could take us through the finishing order then for round 96.
Okay, so Vidovic takes win number 15 of the season. Downcraft pushed him all the way and led for a good part of the race as well. Jamie Fluke, 6th to 3rd. Good opening race of the evening for him. 4th for Michael Schellbach from 8th. So he did some good passing during the race. Ross Balfour started 3rd, finished 5th. Diogo Melro finishing in 6th. 7th was Michael Hall. 8th, Alex Malensky. Dropped down 3 positions there. Richard Gore in 9th. 10th, Nathan Davis from 24th on the grid. So great race one from Nathan Davis. Julian Janowski finished in 11th. Matt Bunn 12th. Ben Hackerson in 13th, who won a race here in the Winter Series. Steve Hefford in 14th. 15th for Lee Berridge. Jamie Rushworth 34th to 16th after not setting a time in qualifying. Kip Stevens in 17th. 18th, Colin Cunniff, who started 32nd. Laura Bond 19th and 20th, David Baker. 21st, Dan Hunt. 22nd in the end was Paul Smith. Cesare Rizzo 23rd. Pete Newman 24th. 25th, Andrew Whitehead. Liam Atkins 26th. Scott Malcolm 27th. For Stuart Atkinson in 28th. 29th, Roy Verke. George Simmons 30th. 31st, Michael Blake. 32nd, John Roberts. Stalin Chepelewski 1 lap down in 33rd. Rob Graham a lap down in 34th. Rob Fagg 6 laps down, 35th. Ash Sutton had technical issues, finished 36th after starting 4th. Nick McCarron and Russell Laidler and Jay Wright and Ricardo Ferreira all involved in incidents on the opening lap of the race. So let's get the grid then set for the second race of the evening, round 97 of the championship. I don't know who's going to be on the Wheel of Fortune, because it could be either Andrew or Alex, but here are the drivers eligible: 16 to 25 plus 2 falls. And the drivers are as follows: Jamie Rushworth, Kip Stevens, Colin Cunniff, Laura Bond, David Baker, Dan Hunt, Paul Smith, Cesare Rizzo, Pete Newman, Andrew Whitehead, and if we have a full, it will put Rob Graham onto pole position. Some big names there, guys. We'll see who gets the pole.
Right. Alex, if you would, my friend, here's the famous music and the spinny wheel. And we'll see who's going to be on pole position for round 97. Take it away. Here we go. And, it could be a full. Oh, is it? No, it's not quite a full. Is it going to go over to 24th? Yes, it will. The 24th, which is Pete Newman.
Pete Newman will go on to pole position. Cesare Rizzo will start second. Paul Smith. Optimism for Paul. He's up in third. Dan Hunt 4th. And David Baker in 5th.
Just shows, Adam, actually what a good race one will do for you, really, in terms of, started at the back. He's had a good race up to 22nd, and now he's on the second row.
Brilliant job from Pete Newman. And I think it shows, as we were saying before the broadcast, it's a lot easier to gain positions at this circuit than at the ones we've been going to the last few race meetings, such as Monza and Spa.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be interesting to see exactly whether that trend continues, or whether the changing track conditions are going to mean that obviously the drivers have to take a different approach later on. But I tell you what, we will do that after the break. We will find out exactly what happens. We have 3 races to go here on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live, and we'll see you shortly after the break for more action from the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Oh dear.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live and the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship from Silverstone National in the United Kingdom. Andrew Woodhouse and Adam Bath here with you. And Alex Simpson, World Championship driver, is our producer for the day. He's got the evening off commentary for once. He's got away with it for a change. We're here, and the first race was really, really good. Wojciech Svidovic took the win after a really strong battle with Daniel Kraft. It was really back and forth. Lead changes, and in the end, Adam, Svidovic will feel that that's one really well earned.
Yeah, he had to work for it, didn't he? And it looked like Dan Kraft was going to be able to take the win, but then Svidovic was able to get the run out of Beckett's and into Brooklands, just like Dan Kraft did from earlier on. Was able to get the lead back, and good for Svidovic to get a win back on, to get his championship back on track, of course. I know he's got enough podium credits to lead the show now by quite some margins, but of course every win helps, and you never know how many points you might need come the end of the season, just like we saw last season with Jovan Katz, of course. So
well, and Svidovic had a big lead going into the showdown,
yeah,
and that didn't even help him last season. So
no, it's those 2 penalties, yeah, that cost him dear.
Yeah, which
well,
you know, if you go by the letter of the law, I suppose he cost himself the championship last year. So he'll be hoping to make a big splash in 2016, and well, what remains of it at least. Anyway, Adam, we're already in August, September time.
September,
yeah.
I know this championship really does go the full length of the year, doesn't it? But yeah,
it does, and it also makes you forget which week, day, and month it is.
Yeah, because Thursday just comes around every week. We don't get too many breaks in the BSRTC, so last week was a bit odd. But yeah, we're now on air every Thursday until the end of the season, so we'll find out who's going to be the winner of the BSRTC for 2016 Season 10.
Yeah, Season 10. And we do have Season 5 of the Kia Club Series. That's going to be coming up soon, Adam. And you're going to be in the box for that one with Mr. Paul Smith again.
Yeah, good to be back. Great season last season. Diego Melro.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't a good season for you.
No.
After leading the championship the season before, Team Dial-Up finishing it at the rear, I think, of the championship.
But no, in all seriousness, that series does get better and better every time, and you know, it's great to see them expanding and putting on some great racing as well. So, Adam, if you could take us through the starting order then for round 97.
Newman will start on pole position then. Second, Cesaro Rizzo. Paul Smith will start in third. Dan Hunt, fourth. Fifth, David Baker. Sixth, Laura Bond. Seventh, Colin Cunniff. Eighth, Kip Stevens. Ninth, Jamie Rushworth. 10th, Lee Berridge. 11th, Steve Hefford. 12th, Ben Hackerson. 13th, Matt Bunn. 14th, Julian Janowski. 15th, Nathan Davis. Richard Gore, 16th. 17th, Alex Smolensky. 18th, Michael Hall. 19th, Diego Melro. 20th, Ross Balfour. Michael Schellbach, 21st. 22nd is Jamie Fluke. 23rd, Dan Kraft. 24th, our race one winner, Svidovic. Andrew Whitehead.
Sorry, Adam, to interrupt you. Is that grid slightly different to the one that we thought was going to be there?
Well, P. Newell was on pole, but I don't know whether it's a back. I don't know why it's looking different.
I will have to say I'm not sure. It looks like there were some changes on there on my screen, but we'll have a look and we'll see.
Here we go then.
The race 97 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship is underway, and it's a really good start from the front row by Pete Newman. He's away and he takes quite a big lead into turn 1. Dario Rizzo alongside. Oh, Rizzo gets out of it, and look, it's Baker through into second place already.
Fifth on the grid. Fantastic start from David Baker there. Paul Smith started in third, has already started in third, has already lost a position. Colin Cunniff on the move as well, as is the other racer with CQR car, Jamie Rushworth, and Rushworth hits Cunniff, and that's going to allow Dan Hunt through as we go onto the Wellington straight.
Yeah, Cunniff's going to lose a lot of momentum here. Hunt's through, maybe Stevens as well.
Ash Sutton already technical issues again for the MG driver.
Sutton's having problems tonight. Smith down the inside of Rushworth. Well, that's defending from Rushworth, isn't it? Rushworth trying to take that position away from the CQR Academy car.
Rushworth started 9th, already up into 4th place, but goes wide on the exit of Luffield. Few cars putting wheels into the grass as well. It's absolutely crazy behind here. A lot of cars.
Look at this mid-pack going through. Very difficult for Alex to even find a reference point amongst all that nonsense. Look at all those cars going through. Fantastic. 2 or 3 wide in places, through Copse, towards Beckett's and Maggots complex.
Cunniff now under pressure from a sim racer car, as it is Dan Hunt. He's got Kip Stevens' company, and Cunniff's
Oh,
off.
of course, Cunniff.
Not a hardware failure this time. I think it was just dirty tyres or something.
Cunniff was the man, of course, who lost a victory by 1,000th of a second here in the Winter Series.
Yeah, last season in race 2 as well, side by side with Jerome Kaiser for 3 consecutive laps. Hunt up the inside of car 28, Steve Hefford.
Ross Balfour and the Club Series champion Diogo Melrose going side by side. Balfour's got the better of that battle. Cunniff is side by side with Shellback.
Craft Race 1 winner in the mix there as well, as is Jamie Fluke. Finishes 2nd and 3rd in that race.
Now, of course, it's an obvious thing to say, but really is who can make the most positions from those guys who started, who finished at the front of the last race, got reversed into the middle of the pack. Really is about who can get through the field the quickest.
Davidovic now trying to get past Fluke. 3 wide, the top 3 from the last race. As Fluke goes up the inside of Kraft.
Oh.
Kraft closes the door there.
Fluke hard on the brakes there. Looked like he slightly missed his braking point. He did gather it all up and managed to not hit Daniel Kraft at least too hard.
4 wide nearly down the back straight here, and Janowski's trying to make it 4 wide between Hall and
4 wide. Oh, this is
sim
stupid.
racer.
Janowski and Melrose and Balfour and Gore, and they've somehow they've survived. Look at that.
Down to
Hall
3
into
wide.
Gore into Smolensky. So Hall with some strong arm tactics through Luffield, getting the elbows out.
And now a 2 wide. Gore v Hall. Gore's got an overlap through Woodcut.
I'm not sure that Gore's going to like that tactic from Hall too much.
As Janowski's weaving about behind.
So
Gore around the outside.
Got the Kia World Series champion then just behind the Club Series champion.
This is a great battle to watch here. This is going for about 13th and 14th. Gore around the outside.
Gore
and now here comes.
Hall's gone in.
Janowski's going to get both of them.
Have lost positions.
Great move there up the inside. Opportunistic there by Janowski. Now Ross Balfour's going to get past possibly both of them as well. He's got past Gore down the Wellington straight.
So Julian Janowski then making some progress at the expense of Richard Gore and Michael Hall. Meanwhile at the front, Rizzo and Smith going side by side. Smith has got a big jump there. And Paul Smith out of Luffield, he takes what is now 4th position.
Battle for the lead between David Baker and Pete Newman over the line.
2 of the
Baker
showdown contenders from 2015. Up the inside goes Baker. Newman runs around the outside of Copse. You've got to use that momentum in Copse. The way that it opens up slightly, you can go around the outside there. Keep your position.
On the brakes into Maggots and Beckett's, then these 2 streaking far ahead of the rest of them. Of course, Baker benefiting from a good reverse grid and him being a quick driver as well. Here we go down the Wellington straight.
Well, that's the thing, when one of your former champions gets reversed onto the front 3 rows, you know they've definitely got a chance to win, and that's what David Baker is doing here. He's got he just went a little deep into Brooklands, just outbraked himself slightly, and Pete Newman continues to lead then on lap 5. Coming up to start lap 5.
Berridge and Hackerson side by side on the exit of Luffield. Looks like they're both preparing to mug Matt Bunn here, coming across the line to start lap 6.
Oh! Well, that was nearly a disaster there. Hackerson nearly ended up in the fence.
And now Hackerson's going to try and get past Bunn. A side-by-side racing in front. So much action here in the second race of the night here in the iRacing MSA BSR TC. Bunn goes a bit deep into Beckett's there. That allows Hackerson to go up the inside. But 3 wide, nearly 4. No, what's gone on here?
Battle for the lead. Baker's trying to go around the outside of Newman into Brooklands, and this time you feel, I was going to say you feel he's not going to make the same mistake. Smith goes wide at Brooklands. I think he managed to keep it on the track. He did lose a lot of ground, so Newman leads from Baker, from Rushworth and Smith and Stevens.
Dan Hunt is out, broken suspension. And I don't know how it happened. It looked like contact with left rear of Dan Hunt to the front right of Cesare Rizzo, and I've never seen that in a Kia before, but I wonder if iRacing have made some updates. That immediately broke the suspension on Dan Hunt and he was out.
Look at this snake of cars as well, Adam, from about 9th place down to what is about, well, that goes all the way back to the back of the field, 36th place, all in a line.
Yeah, it's amazing there, that shot of them all going into Maggots and Beckett's. Who's leading this line? It's Matt Bunn, isn't it?
Look at
in
this
ninth place.
Look at this for 28th, 29th, 30th. Ricardo Ferreira and Rob Fagg, Russell Laidler.
And
behind them is Atkins.
If all these cars stay in a line, these guys won't be anywhere near the front of the reverse grid. At the moment, if it was a full, it would be going to Rob Graham, who's in 37th place, still on the lead lap. He's a bit of a way off, this guy.
Malensky's through on Hall.
Yes, he is.
Well, at least he's got the first part of the move done. Can he keep it into Copse Corner? Over the line he goes.
Behind them.
Still the overlap from Hall. In fact, Hall went into Copse in front slightly. It forces Smolensky to take the tighter inside line. He won't get the momentum there, but he may get the inside for Beckett's, depending on how brave he is through. Maggott's car off. In the background, that like Ben Hackerson going wide at Copse, using all the runoff area. And Smolensky's going through, and I think this time, and these two had a bit of a tiff in the first race.
Down the straight we go.
Now the lead is under threat again. And this time, the third time lucky, Baker's going to make it surely. Uses all the inside curb, tight as he can possibly get that Kia Optima on the inside of that Lovefield corner.
Here we go then, out of the final corner to start lap 9. We're already past the halfway mark of the race, and Pete Newman needs to be careful because, that's close. Rushworth nearly gets an overlap there across the line to start lap 9. Into the first corner we go then, hard on the brakes, into Copse, make sure you get the car right so you can get a good exit. And they're coming up to lap a car as well. Who's that we're getting near? We're getting near Laura Bond, who's in 39th place.
Newman got quite a good exit there. And Baker's saying, look, I'm going to come past and I'm going to bring some help with me as well. My teammate, former champion as well, Jamie Rushworth.
Pete Newman, a BSR Kia World Series champion as well. Wasn't the champion of this season, was the champion in season 1, of course.
Multiple times race winner in this series as well, Pete Newman. And a showdown competitor in 2015. Just like these two men who he's racing with.
In a race of a CQR sandwich. Let's see if he can get out of it and back to the lead. And Paul Smith's getting close to these guys. He was lapping quicker than all three of them. 58.2 last time around for Paul Smith, compared to the majority of the top three were lapping in the 59s. So very close here. Nathan Davis also back up at the front again in 5th place. Started 15th.
Fastest man on the track there was Steve Hefford with a 58.323. In fact, Hall was slightly quicker than Hefford as well. So it's ebbing and flowing with the... it's wide goes Rushworth. Makes a big mistake. That's going to allow Paul Smith to get a big run, but Smith can't take advantage. Rushworth, ironically, the width of his line gave him a perfect slingshot down the Wellington Straight.
It's amazing the run you can get out of Beckett's on the outside. It's
when you get it
quite
wrong.
extraordinary. Yeah.
Balfour now, and Gore, and Berridge. Bergen 54 for Engine All Direct. He's trying to challenge Richard Gore in the Apex Racing UK car. Now Chepelevsky and Scott Malcolm, that is, in the Automech car side by side. And it looks like Chepelevsky's going to take the place away from the Scotsman. Can he do it?
Stalin Chepelevsky, of course, finished 1 lap down in the opening race of the night.
Oh, beautiful from Scott Malcolm. He put his car precisely when he needed to, but
rewind
here
nearly.
comes Rusty Laidler.
Oh my word, nearly 4.
It's me. And Laidler, there's no way he's going to stop the car.
He just
and he
does.
sort of does. Malcolm gives him a little nudge on the rear quarter panel.
And now we're going to go 3 wide.
Fantastic action, and it is Ricardo Ferreira in that.
Oh no!
Oh, they've gone!
In a big way.
Rob Fagg and
no!
Man.
They're going into the Northamptonshire airspace there. I'm sure a few passenger jets will be wary of them.
Are me and Alex going to have to duck? Is there going to be a Kia landing on our house in a minute? Could well be. It's not that far from here.
Well, we've just survived, I think, lap 12. Oh no! Well, we know that Rob Fagg hasn't survived. Well, he's got going again.
Rob Fagg's out. And you know what? You've got to say that Rob Fagg didn't really give the space there.
I think if you're crashing midway down a straight, there's got to be one driver at fault there.
Yep, exactly. That's what I think. The stewards might have a different opinion, but you know, you got to say that.
What do we know?
Rob Fagg closed the distance quite dramatically there.
Well, David Baker's pulled out quite a bit of a lead now. We've seen Paul Smith has lost a position there to Nathan Davis, so Davis is now through into 4th.
Quite an interesting scrap going on here, Adam, which is for 8th place with Cesare Rizzo, Matt Bunn, Julian Janowski, and Richard Gore.
And that was kicking off there between Bunn and the Alfa Tech car of Janowski. Going through Woodcote.
Bunn's going to look down the inside of Rizzo. There's somebody sliding around, not quite getting the optimum grip there from the Kia Optima, but Gore's going to go through on the inside, and they are 3 wide now, and they're very, very close together indeed. Someone has to make a sensible decision. You would think, oh, and that's not Janowski because he's gone. He's well off the track.
And I don't think even that line can help him down the back straight.
That line's going to work. No, there's cones everywhere. Janowski, unfortunately, has got a history of sort of running out of talent on the brakes.
Rizzo v.
Seem to have it there as well.
Into Brooklands, this battle continues. Kraft and is that Berridge?
Oh, it was.
It was, yeah.
It's not anymore.
And Berridge is just getting muscled out all over the place there, and
Melrose through, and then it's Balfour. I'm losing a little bit of track here. We've got Michael Hall, and Hall's having a look at.
Oh no!
What?
Bunn into the back of Rizzo, and that's allowed. That's allowed.
Wide.
Oh my word!
Nearly
Ross Balfour trying to get involved there into Maggots on the penultimate lap now.
Great. Bunn goes wide at Beckett's. As we've seen, that isn't always a real problem, but it is this time as Richard Gore. He gets a fantastic drive out of the corner. He's surely going to overlap the CQR Academy car, but here comes Cesare Rizzo with slipstream, and Ross Balfour with the effects of the tow as well. Into Brooklands they go, 2 by 2. Oh, Bunn just didn't make the apex there at all. And goes through. Richard Gore is up into 8th place.
Balfour past Rizzo. Look at all these cars here. We're down to,
at least for now,
at least we're down to 23rd position. This battle here. Over the line we go on to the final lap of the race.
And
David, no! It's over.
The crash.
And it's Richard Gore and Matt Bunn, and Richard Gore's lost a ton of position.
There's going to be a secondary crash as well if they're not careful. Oh man, that's a nightmare for Richard Gore.
Oh, and the secondary crash has happened. Janowski.
Janowski's crashed, has he?
Got turned going into the Beckett's, and he's in the gravel, and Bunn's losing positions as well, but let's quickly go back to the front for the finish.
Yeah, David Baker's coming around Brooklands. He's got a 2-second lead. It looks nice and easy here for Dave Baker, and he's going to be so happy with this. After starting 22nd in race 1, started below that, didn't he? Finished 22nd in race 1, got reversed onto the 3rd row of the grid, made a wonderful start. And now David Baker takes round 97 of the BSR TC, and I'll tell you what, it's a race hub with CQR 1-2. I don't think they would have imagined that. Look how close this is over the line. This is Kraft and Rizzo who got that one. It was Rizzo.
I know it's Kraft just.
Oh, was it Kraft?
Yeah, Dan Kraft got 8th by 400.
Half a 10th, yeah.
But yeah, Kraft went from 12th to 8th on that final lap as a result of all the contact we saw going on in that big battle.
Yeah, it was a really good race in the end, and but there were a lot of incidents in the mid-pack at the end of that race. But got to hand it to the racer with CQR boys there, Adam.
Another 1-2, and it's taken a little bit of a while, but they've got to the top of the team standings and had a 300-point lead going into this race meeting, and they've definitely extended their lead even more so far this race meeting with another 1-2. They've definitely got their act together now after a poor start to the season. They've got the consistency, and with Jamie Rushworth and David Baker in the team, you're bound to get results, as well as Ash Sutton, of course, the MG driver. So brilliant job by Racer with CQR again in race 2.
Yeah, and like you said, those names are going to bring results more often than not. They've still got a really good chance of winning the team's championship and the majority of that $10,000 prize fund. Right, so Adam, as the cars are coming across to or coming into pit lane to finish race two's proceedings. You take us through the standings for round 97.
Okay, so David Baker takes the win. That is his 7th win of the season and puts him level with championship leader Stelian Chepelevsky. 2nd for Jamie Rushworth, 3rd for Pete Newman, the pole sitter, 4th Nathan Davis, 15th to 4th. Having a great evening's racing, Nathan Davis. 5th is Paul Smith. Steve Hefford finished in 6th in the end. Kip Stevens 7th, his sim racer teammate. 8th, Dan Kraft from 23rd. 9th, Cesare Rizzo, who started on the front row of the grid, and Michael Hall finishing in 10th. Alex Malensky finished 11th, 12th for Ross Balfour, 13th Diogo Melro. Matt Bunn finished in 14th, 15th our race 1 winner, Wojciech Svidovic. Lee Berridge in 16th, 17th for Ben Hackerson, 18th George Simmons from 30th on the grid. So the Engine Oil Direct driver moving through the field there. One driver that was falling through the field was Colin Cunniff, started 7th, finished 19th. 20th was Russell Layla, 21st Julian Janowski, 22nd in the end was Richard Gore, who was nearly inside the top 10 during that race. Stelian Chepelevsky 33rd to 23rd, Scott Malcolm 24th, Liam Atkins 25th, John Roberts in 26th, Andrew Whitehead in 27th, 28th Roy Ververke, 29th Stuart Atkinson and Michael Blake in 30th, Nick McCarron in 31st, Jamie Fluke finishing in 32nd place. The man that finished in 3rd in race 1. 33rd, Rob Gray and Michael Shellback 1 lap down, so if the reverse grid lands on a full, it will be him that gets reversed onto pole. Jay Wright in 35th, Ricardo Ferreira 36th, Rob Fagg 37th, 38th, Laura Bond, Daniel Hunt in 39th, and Ash Sutton technical issues on the opening lap of the race, finishing in 40th, 15 laps down.
Yeah, not a good meeting for him so far. Right then, Adam, we've got the wheel coming up for the 2nd time tonight, and that's going to set the grid for round 98. Tell us who's in with the shot.
Round 98 then of the season. Drivers eligible are as follows: Lee Berridge, Ben Hackerson, George Simmons, Colin Cunniff, Russell Layla, Julian Janowski, Richard Gore, Stelian Chepelevsky, Scott Malcolm, Liam Atkins, and if we have a fall, it will put Michael Shellback on to pole position. Get the wheel spun then.
All right, let's do it.
Position for race 3 lap, and last time we were here went to Ben Hackerson.
Let's see who's going to go to now then. Going to go past the full. 24th was there again, and it's going to be 18th.
More one. It's George Simmons that gets reversed onto pole position for Engine Oil Direct. Ben Hackerson will start 2nd, Lee Berridge 3rd, Savidovic up in 4th, and Matt Bunn in 5th.
George Simmons just sort of playing for pride at the moment, but he knows that another win, and that will increase his standing in the wildcard quite dramatically. He has won quite a lot of races this season, hasn't he, Adam? He's won quite a few. So he doesn't really need to win that many more, does he, with this short amount of time left in the season, but he'll definitely be going for it.
Yeah, he's 11th in the championship, so just outside the top 10. 2 wins to his name, 7 podiums.
It would do him. It would do him some good then, wouldn't it, if you can pick up a 3rd. So
you've got Savidovic on the 2nd row of the grid. He better watch out.
That's going to be very difficult indeed. But Simmons is a quick driver, but we know how good Savidovic is. So we'll find that out after we come back. And join us here on the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship for races 3 and 4 after the break here from Silverstone.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series, and since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back to Silverstone and the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. And it's the National Circuit, of course. This is race 3 of 4 tonight with Andrew Woodhouse and Adam Bath, with Alex Simpson on the cameras. Adam, we've seen two very different races. One that was won really at the death and the other that was sewn up a few laps before the end. This reverse grid's once again going to mix up the order in a different way. What are you expecting from this third race of the evening?
Well, it's another race where we see some big names at the front of the grid. Last time out we saw David Baker near the front of the grid, as well as Jamie Rushworth and of course Pete Newman on the pole. Now we've got Savidovic on the second row of the grid. George Simmons also a race winner as well, but we've seen so far tonight these guys have no problems diving their way through the field, so we could have some other big names joining the guys at the front during this third race. So expect a lot of battling. We've seen a lot of it tonight.
Yeah, and some drivers have been getting their elbows out more than others over the course of the first two races. Michael Hall comes to mind, as does Smolenski, Janowski. Those guys are really the usual suspects, Adam, to be honest. But we've also had two of the usual suspects taking race victories. Wojciech Svidovic, David Baker, former champions, many-time race winners. And I wonder if we're going to get one here. Interesting note is we do have Ryan Littlemore here with us. And he has put a bet on with Jamie Fluke that he's going to do some kind of forfeit if Fluke wins from 32nd on the grid. So, well, Jamie, there's your motivation. If you want Ryan to do something stupid, then we will film it and put it on YouTube, no doubt.
And of course on the Apex Racing TV Facebook page as well.
Yes, indeed.
Well, it's time for
we're
the
all
grid
over that social media.
Let's have a look at the grid then. On pole position, it is George Simmons. Ben Hackerson starts second. Lee Berridge in third. Fourth is Savidovic. Fifth, Matt Bunn. Diogo Melra will be in sixth. Seventh, Ross Balfour. Eighth, Alex Smolenski. Ninth, Michael Hall. 10th, it's Isaiah Rizzo. 11th, Dan Kraft. 12th, Kip Stevens. 13th, Steve Everett. Paul Smith, 14th. 15th, Nathan Davis. 16th, Pete Newman. 17th, Jamie Rushworth. 18th, David Baker. 19th, Colin Cunniff. And 20th, Russell Laidler. 21st, Julian Janowski. 22nd, Richard Gore. 23rd, Stelian Chapelevsky. 24th, Scott Malcolm. 25th, Liam Atkins. 26th, John Roberts. 27th, Andrew Whitehead. 28th, Roy Ververke. 29th, Stuart Atkinson. And 30th is Michael Blake. 31st, Nick McCarron. 32nd, Jamie Fluke. 33rd, Rob Graham. 34th, Michael Schallback. 35th, Jay Wright. 36th, Ricardo Ferreira. 37th, Rob Fagg. 38th, Laura Bond. Starting at the back in 39th, it is Dan Hunt.
All right, excellent. Well done as usual, fitting that into 1 minute. We've got 16 laps of the Silverstone National Circuit. The red lights are on.
Green.
And the green light is on. It's a good start from pretty much everybody. There's a bit of movement in the middle of the field. Looks like Nathan Davis making some progress. Into the first corner then. It is... Lane shows in the lead. Who's on the lead?
It's George Simmons.
It's George Simmons. Sorry, I couldn't see the number or anything. I couldn't see anything. Didn't have the order in front of me. So George Simmons, and then it's Ben Hackerson in second place, Wojciech Svidovic in third, and then it's Lee Berridge attacking the race 1 winner.
Onto the straight we go then. We have two wide action. Nathan Davis and Cesare Rizzo going at it in the midfield. They're trying to get round the sim racer car of Alex Smolenski going into Brooklands. And also side by side is Savidovic and Berridge going into Luffield, and that looks like Savidovic through into third place.
Nathan Davis and Cesare Rizzo exchanging places through Luffield and Brooklands as well. Balfour a little wide on the exit of Luffield. Hooks on Kip Stevens, he's side by side with Jamie Rushworth. The two former champions of the series, they're going wheel to wheel. Deal comes out on top into Copse Corner, there you go. Oh, look at that behind us, two Alfa Tech cars nearly coming to blows. Julian Janowski and Rusty Laidler. Oh, I can hear something going on.
Yeah, trying to find it.
I'm sure I heard some slight contact there. Not exactly sure who that was. It's likely that might have been between Rizzo and Jamie Rushworth because they were very close together on the circuit. Looks like Michael Hall is making a move as well.
Kraft and Balfour. Oh, Balfour, yeah, looking at the inside. Kraft looking around the outside of Hall.
Oh, Smolenski with a little nudge on Ross Balfour. Balfour side by side with Dan Kraft. Through Luffield again. Davies in close proximity as well. He's just outside the top 10 and 11.
Oh, Balfour.
big problem there, almost for Balfour. The Smolensky and he rubbed door handles. Balfour sent into a little out of control moment. He saved it well in this front wheel drive Kia Optima.
Well, it's new race. The first race meeting since the new iRacing build is out. Don't know how many changes they've done to the Kia Optima, but that might have been something new there.
I think it's quite negligible, to be honest, but definitely Balfour showed some good acumen there to rescue that situation. And what's this? Who's off down the side there? Balfour. Has he got issues? Has he got suspension damage possibly, Ross Balfour? Because he was weaving all over. He was off in the runoff area.
Might be more suspension. Yeah, might be another problem.
And going fairly slowly, unless he's just testing the steering out.
Oh,
as Hackerson and Svinovic going side by side for second place.
And side by side for fourth place is Berridge v Bunn. So two battles going on here at the front. Over the line we go on to lap 4 of the race.
And Melrose.
Hugo Melrose, yeah, joining in as well. Going into Copse. Bunn up the inside. Good defensive driving there from Berridge to close the door. And now Melrose might try and go around the outside of Bunn going towards Magnussen and Beckett. Yeah,
there's a slight gap behind to the likes of Hall, Balfour and Davies. Side by side goes Bunn with Melrose. Melrose going to look for a cutback here, and he might have judged this very nicely. The Season 4 Kia Club Series champion as Kip Stevens bashes door handles with Colin Cunningham.
And Rushworth side by side with Rizzo. And they're closing in on Pete Newman. Is that in front? Yes, it is. Newman, who was on pole position in race 2.
Yeah, it's for 12th, 13th, 14th. Melrose inside of Bunn. P6. It's going to be P5. And he gets good traction out of the last corner. Does the Portuguese driver, and he goes through. But can Matt Bunn put up any kind of defence for this 5th place? It's going to be extremely difficult for him.
I'll try and get a cut back here, which he does.
I think he does, Matt Bunn.
Expert cut back there, and helps, of course, by Diego Melrose going through Copse.
He might well have got the place. He's going to have the outside here, but inside for Beckett. Very, very close racing.
Oh, be careful.
Oh, that's very close. Don't come across now, Matt.
Well, we've seen one big crash.
This is some of the action, Adam, that we mentioned at the very top of the broadcast.
It's great to see drivers being able to get cutbacks through Beckett's and getting runs down the straight that allows for the 2-wide action that we're constantly seeing here tonight at Silverstone.
And Melrose is through, so brilliant job by the Portuguese driver. Up into 5th place. Look at all this lot. Coming round Luffield, have you seen it, Adam?
My word. We've got sim racer cars going at it. Steve Hefford v Alex Smolensky. Then behind him we've got Hefford, and we've got Laidler and Rizzo. Colin Cunniff's in the mix there as well, looking at the inside, and Rizzo trying to get past the Alphalatech car into Copse.
Battle for first, second and third still going on. George Simmons leads. Ben Hackerson's now taken second back from Wojciech Savinovic.
Bunn trying to take away the position from Melrose, and in trying to do that, it looks like he's lost out of place to Michael Hall, so the race of a CQR car through into 6th place now.
Yeah, Hall having a good meeting. He's had a good 2 or 3 meetings actually after a couple of disastrous ones earlier on in the season. Oh, look at this. Look at this in the middle. Baker, Rizzo and Cunniff. And also in front of them you've got Laidler and
Steve Hefford.
Stevens, was it?
I think it's Steve Hefford in the...
Oh, Stevens is further up the road actually. Stevens has had a good lap and managed to get clear of this lot. It's actually Steve Hefford alongside Russell Rusty Laidler here.
Over line we go then on to lap 7 of the race. When we get to line, we'll be halfway through. Kraft trying to go around the outside of Kip Stevens. Going through Copse.
What is it, with 8 laps completed? With half of the race gone, there is still half of the race still to go, as Murray Walker used to put it.
Oh, bang! That's a contact.
Look at that. Also, as Murray Walker used to put it. Daniel Kraft and Kip Stevens, wheel to wheel contact, and I'm surprised it didn't break the suspension there for Kraft.
He's just hit the Friction Racing driver.
Yes. You're right there, Adam.
Friction Racing number 1.
And, well, it's not number 1 at the minute. 12th Daniel Kraft is. But he's putting up a good battle with these 2 Sim Racer magazine cars who are never shy in a fight. And just behind them, you've got another Sim Racer car, Steve Hefford, side by side with Russell Laidler, and this one isn't done. These two are very, very close together, and something might go on here, Adam, because you've got 2x2, and you've got a big snake of cars all the way back to about 30th place. And Rizzo goes wide at Copse, and that causes all sorts of mayhem as Cunniff and Balfour try and take advantage of that with, oh goodness me, Baker in there somewhere. That's the one. Oh, sandwich! Oh, nearly.
A lot of cars going sideways there through the first corner.
Oh man.
And it's not over down the Wellington straight. Richard Gore's in the mix there as well as that Jamie Fluke. So far, Ryan, your bet's looking safe.
And Savinovic. Yeah, Ryan will be happy about that. Jamie Fluke down in 20th place, 21st place. Side by side with Richard Gore. He's just taken his teammate, but look at this top three battle that's still going on as well. As you see these two Apex cars battling as well, with Baker and with Delback, I think that is, in the Alfa Tech car.
Now it looks like George Simmons is having to do some defending because Savinovic and Hackerson have got onto the back of the Engine All Direct car now. Into Magnussen Beckett's we go. Hackerson might get a good run here on the exit.
Yeah, he's got some nice drive off the corner. It rotated well through Beckett's. And now he's got a nice run on Simmons down the Wellington straight. Simmons going this way and that. Could well have been. Oh, look at that round the outside. He's trying. Is Hackerson. But that's allowed Wojciech Savinovic to appear on the left-hand side.
Into
He's
Love
trying to go around the outside, Savinovic.
Careful, Ben, he's on your outside.
He's still there. This is what I would say. See him out the left-hand window.
Melrose trying to get past the other Engine All Direct car and down the front straight to get into fourth position.
And he has.
It looks like he's done it.
Oh, bit of contact.
And it might not be Melrose in fourth for long because here comes Hall.
No, Melrose took fourth. Bit of contact to get there. Now Michael Hall's up into fourth. So showing some great form, Michael Hall. Matt Bunn up the inside of Berridge now. So Berridge has lost out big time. Although he does get a cutback, and that's nicely done.
So 2 by 2 they go down the Wellington straight. Melrose versus Hall. Who's got the best straight line speed set up under their car, of course.
All sorts of fantastic action going on here. Personifying the BSR TC. And we have to point, oh, they nearly hit each other. Berridge getting in there. Very, very close racing going on out here.
Want to join the action? This is iRacing.com. 3 months for price of one in the description. PR-BSRTC. And for more information about the BSRTC, head to BritishSimRacers.com.
You read my mind there, mate. Great minds and all that.
Great minds think alike.
Indeed. And I'm thinking that we're going to see a great battle between Hall, Melrose and Berridge. And we are getting that. Bunn's coming through. And he says, I'll have a bit of that, he says. He's going to make it stick, though. It seems like Lee Berridge has been beaten up a little bit, but he does manage to retaliate, only to get jabbed again.
Oh, looks at he's going to look at the inside.
Davis
is looking at the inside, and he might have just delivered a left hook there to Matt Bunn.
That was quite well judged by Davis. That green machine. And he get a nice exit. He can. Look at that. He looks like he saved the tyres beautifully. Oh, but Bunn just blocking the path. That's just how that corner develops, Woodcote.
On to lap 12 of 15.
Very difficult to make a move into Copse. Can we see it?
Oh,
yes,
bit of contact on the way.
A bit of understeer. And actually, he's not getting anything from that because he's going to lose a place to Dave Baker. To Jamie Rushworth, sorry, the other one.
Yeah, it's hard to tell those bumper colours, purple versus blue. And it is Rushworth, yeah.
My eyesight's not as good as it used to be, which was not good in the first place.
Oh, Rushworth versus Davis. Down the straight we go then. And we get to line 3 laps to go. Rushworth's got enough of an overlap to try and get it done round the outside into Brooklands.
Going to be a battle on the brakes here between Rushworth and Davis. Rushworth takes to the outside line. He's going to have the drive here, beautifully judged.
Battle for the lead as well. It's all going on here.
Lead going on.
Savinovic tried to go around the outside of Hackerson into Lovefield. Had almost the car passed there, but wasn't able to get it done on the exit of Lovefield. Hard to get a move done really at all there. And on to lap 13 we go. Up the inside goes Savinovic.
Savinovic might be able to use Simmons as a bit of a blocker like in American football.
Oh, that's
Just
close, a bit of rubbing. And now we're on our way
clearing the
towards
way
Maggots
for-
and Beckett's.
Clearing the way for Wojciech Svidovic to go through. Or not. Maybe he will, I don't know. Hackson's got very wide. But he's going to find the sim racer car blocking his path.
I thought he was trying to get for a outside run there, but Svidovic brilliantly ran the car out wide and stopped Hackison trying to get back alongside him.
I think that's what Svidovic had to do there, Adam, because he's been struggling to get through. Now he has a chance to win the race.
He needs to get back onto George Simmons. I know he's only about 2 attempts behind, but here at Silverstone, that's quite a bit on this national circuit. And when we get to line, we'll be starting the penultimate lap.
Having a look at the retirements, we've only got 2, Laura Bond and Stuart Atkinson. Looks like we've just lost Laura Bond. Stuart Atkinson was out 9 laps ago.
38 cars still on the lead lap. And Roy Verke will be the car eligible for pole position if we have a fall.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. We've got the top 32 drivers separated by just 17.4 seconds as they cross the line, which is absolutely ridiculous, really, after 14 laps.
Simmons just blinking away a little bit there, going through Maggots and Beckett's.
Simmons has led 13 laps. Is he going to lead a 14th? Because Wojciech Svidovic is looking for his second win of the evening. And how's he going to go about trying to do it? Well, he's going to try and go around the outside of Brooklands. We've seen this work before. Oh, connection issues there. That's not what Svidovic needed. The equivalent of deploying the smoke screen button, I think.
Now you see me, now you don't.
That's the first blink of the race, really. And it happened at just the wrong time for Svidovic.
Maybe he's playing Mario Kart and has got the ghost.
Yeah, he's deployed a power up, I think. That's what that is. Last lap.
Here we go then. 3 cars battling for the lead. And race 2, last time we were here, we had the top 3 separated by less than a tenth. Could we see the same here?
Hackison very close to Svidovic. He may have made some contact there. George Simmons going for his 3rd win of the season. Wojciech Svidovic going for his 16th.
Ben Hackison, I think, going for his 1st win of the season. I have to double check that. But here we go into Brooklands.
I'm not sure Svidovic is going to be able to do it here. He's going to need a desperate lunge on the inside of Blufffield.
There it is.
Oh, there's the
tap.
nudge. Nudgy, nudgy, nudgy.
And through we go to the checker flag.
And George Simmons is going to do what we said would be very difficult. But do what people say you can't do is a great motto, and George Simmons has just done it.
Brilliant job by George Simmons. I thought it was a shoo-in for Svidovic to take the win there, judging from the fact he was starting on the 2nd row of the grid. But Simmons was in control of the race, led every single lap, something that I don't think we've seen so far tonight, and has taken his 3rd win of the season.
Yeah, and it was a tremendous performance. He led 15 laps, all of them from pole position, and really was just a flawless drive. He didn't make any mistakes and managed to defeat Wojciech Svidovic, which is not an easy thing to do. Still a couple of, I think everyone's finished now, but yeah, Roy Verke, it looks like we lost Jamie Rushworth on the last lap, and Nick McKerran, looking at the timing screen.
Jamie Rushworth.
So we'll have to confirm that potentially.
I'm just trying to find Jamie on the timing screen. He finished in 7th position, Jamie Rushworth.
Right.
So I don't know whether something might have happened.
I've just got a timing error there then, mate.
But yeah, 37 cars finishing on the lead lap, 41 seconds separating them all. And
that's,
yeah,
you know, and 25 of those, 33 of those were separated by 25 seconds as well. So very, very good for a race of this length as well. This amount of laps, this many cars, for it to be so close. So we now need to see who's going to be on pole for race number 4. Final round of this evening. It's been a really interesting night's racing at Silverstone National.
Our final round of the season in double figures.
And in fact, take us through the standings first, Adam, before we do that.
Okay, George Simmons takes win number 3 for Engine All Direct. Good for the Pro-Am team, of course. They want to finish top of the Pro-Am teams and get a share of the prize money. Svidovic finishing in 2nd. Ben Hackison in 3rd for Boosted Motorsport, another Pro-Am team on the podium. Michael Hall finishing 4th. Diego Melro in 5th. Stick for Lee Berridge. 7th, Jamie Rushworth. 8th for Nathan Davis. Those two together working their way through the field to get a top 10 result. Matt Bunn 9th and Alex Smolensky 10th. Pete Newman finishing 11th. Dan Kraft 12th. 13th for Russell Laidler. Steve Hefford in 14th. Kip Stevens in 15th. 16th for Ross Balfour. 17th Colin Cunniff. 18th for David Baker. 19th Jamie Fluke, and 20th Michael Shellback. Fluke and Shellback working their way through from outside the top 30 to getting a top 20 result. Richard Gore 21st, 22nd Stelian Chepelevsky. So it's only able to gain one position there, the Alphalatech driver, after having a bad race one. It hasn't transpired into a good evening for the championship leader. Julian Janowski, his teammate, finishing in 23rd. Dan Hunt, another Alphalatech driver, finishing in 24th. So all four Alphalatech drivers finishing outside the top 20, or 20th or lower. Cesare Rizzo, 25th. Andrew Whitehead, 26th. 27th, Scott Malcolm. 28th, John Roberts. Ricardo Ferreira, 29th. And 30th, Rob Fagg. Nick McCarron, 31st. Jay Wright, 32nd. Paul Smith, finishing 33rd. Rob Graham, 34th. 35th, Michael Blake. 36th, Liam Atkins. 37th, Roy Verke, the last classified finisher. And then Laura Bonds, 3 laps down. And Stuart Atkinson in 39th, 10 laps down.
All right, Adam, thank you very much. So we're now going to go to our fantastic Wheel of Fortune then for the third time. We're going to see who's going to get the final pole position in tonight's event. So Adam, if you take us through the contenders.
Okay, 16 to 25, or a full. Let's look at the drivers. Well, they're as follows: Ross Balfour, Colin Cunniff, 2 Friction Racing cars there, David Baker, Jamie Fluke, Michael Shellback, Richard Gore, Stelian Chepelevsky, Julian Janowski, Dan Hunt, Cesare Rizzo, and Roy Verke will be eligible if we have a full. So big names again to see who's going to be on pole for round 99.
So here we go. Oh, is it going to be a full? Oh, no, not quite. It's going to be quite a big one, though. It's going to be 25th.
25, so Cesare Rizzo gets reversed onto pole position. It was looking bad for Alphalatech, but it's transpired to be a brilliant reverse grid. Dan Hunt will start in second. Julian Janowski, his teammate, will start third. Stelian Chepelevsky, another Alphalatech driver, will start fourth. Richard Gore, fifth for Apex Racing, and then sixth, the fourth for the Alphalatech drivers, Michael Shellback.
Yeah, Alphalatech's frown has been turned upside down by the reverse grid, but are they still going to be smiling all over their face after race 4? We'll see exactly what happens after this break on the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship here on Apex Racing TV.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
On the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be into stripe? Dead even. Give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back everybody to Silverstone National for the final round of the evening in the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship here on iRacing Live, of course brought to you by Apex Racing TV. My name is Andrew Woodhouse, and as all night I've been joined by Adam Bath and Alex Simpson doing the cameras for us here. We've got about a minute to go before the final race starts, and Adam, we've got another really shaken up grid with 25 cars reversed. After the first 3 races have brought us a lot of action really.
Yeah, brilliant action, and we've had 3 lead battles in all 3 races. That's how we can see it in the 4th race. Great racing, yeah, all the way through the field, and I think we saw it really in the race results from race 3. The top about 37 cars, was it, separated by just over 40 seconds, and for a race that lasts about 15 minutes, great to see.
Yeah, especially with all the field spread that you get here at Silverstone as well. Quite a lot of oh, there we go. Quite a lot of things can go on there. As we see some crashes.
As Nathan Davis finds out.
Yeah. Well, that's not unusual really, is it?
Well, Cesare Rizzo is going to be on the pole for the final time tonight.
Yes, and what he's got to do, I think, is he's got to show a little bit of ruthlessness up there, because I think often we've seen Rizzo at the front, and what he does do is he gives the positions up quite easily, so we want him to really try and fight hard to keep that win, because George Simmons managed to do it. Rizzo's pace has been good in this round, so you know he does have every chance, but he has got some good competition behind Adam, as you're about to tell us.
Cesare Rizzo is on the pole, Dan Hunt 2nd, Julian Chinovsky 3rd, Stalin Chapelevsky 4th, so 3 Alfa Tech cars behind Rizzo, then Richard Gore and Michael Schellbach, so 4 Alfa Tech cars inside the top 6. Jamie Fluke 7th, David Baker 8th, 9th Colin Cunniff, 10th is Ross Balfour, 11th Kip Stevens, 12th Steve Hefford, 13th Russell Laidler, 14th Dan Kraft, 15th Pete Newman, 16th Alex Malensky, 17th Matt Bunn, 18th Nathan Davis, 19th Jamie Rushworth, 20th Lee Berridge, 21st Diego Melro, 22nd Michael Hall, 23rd Ben Hackerson, 24th Wojciech Savidovic, 25th George Simmons, the race 3 winner, 26th Andrew Whitehead, 27th Scott Malcolm, 28th John Roberts, 29th Ricardo Ferreira, and in 30th it is Rob Fagg. 31st Nick McCarron, 32nd Jay Wright, 33rd Paul Smith, 34th Rob Graham, 35th
Here
Michael Blake, 36th Liam Atkins, 37th Floyd Verke, 38th Stu Atkinson.
Well done. The green light is on. And Cesaro Rizzo, let's see if he can keep pole position. I can't take it seriously. Going down to Cop's corner. Up the inside.
Oh no!
Oh no! That's an Alphalatech car. Daniel Hunt, I think that is.
And it's Rizzo.
And that's the end of Rizzo. Oh, and it crashed again. Oh, well, that was amateur hour at the front, wasn't it?
Oh dear, it's all kicking
Here
off
comes
here.
Richard Gore, and then goes Jamie Fluke round the outside. Fluke sideways. Oh, goodness me.
Look at all, there's still four Alphalatech cars there.
4 Alphalatech cars.
Oh, 3 Alphalatech
3
cars.
Alphalatech cars. 3 wide at one point. Gore leading. Is Fluke going to manage to follow his teammate into second place? Down the inside goes Fluke.
Oh
Fluke's
dear,
going through.
no.
Bang, there's a contact. And he's hit one of the Alphalatech cars. Somebody's off in the gravel. I'm not sure who it is. Can't see the numbers. Stelin Chepelewski's the one who's up in 3rd place now.
Still 3 or 4 Alphalatech cars there, but they're making hard work of this. Around the final corner, it's an Apex Racing 1-2.
Well, they virtually handicapped each other at the start of the race, didn't they? With Hunt coming on the outside and then someone else on the inside. Balfour's having a look on Shellback then.
I'm sure Alex is doing the dance at the moment.
He is. You can't see it on the screen, you can't hear it, but the man is jubilant at this time.
And the first lap then. First is Richard Gore, second Jamie Fluke, third is Stelin Chepelewski, fourth David Baker, fifth Shellback, sixth Balfour, seventh Janowski, eighth Cunniff, ninth Laidler, and 10th Hefford.
It might not be a 1-2 for long as here comes the championship leader.
Oh!
Oh,
Cunniff gets hit by, hits Julian Janowski. And now here comes Russell Laidler behind. But look at that behind, oh my words. Kip Stevens gets out of it, he's got a problem. But now we've got 2x2 through the final corner. That is Pete Newman versus a sim racer car.
Stevens dramatically dropping down the order. There's a sim racer car, there's Lee Berridge for Engine All Direct. Behind them is Smolensky, I think that is, Ferreira, Melro. It's a gaggle, it's officially a gaggle, I think, Adam, this is.
I think, yeah, we can use the term gaggle. We've heard it plenty of times at Silverstone in the WEC race when we went there the other week. But yeah, it's definitely
Michael
a gaggle
Blake's
here.
off. Michael Blake's in the gravel. I don't know what's happened to him at Beckett's. The replay. So Blake was, I'm not sure where he was sat, but he's side by side with an Engine All Direct car. And the engine, and that's Jay Wright, and in fact Michael Blake just loses it under braking, goes into the gravel himself.
Got one car in the pits at the moment, Cesaro Rizzo, round 99 of the season. He's probably off and gone at 99.
Yep, ice cream time for Rizzo, I think.
And whoever put that car, oh no, it's Cunniff, and he's off.
Cunniff's gone again.
And he's over.
And he's over.
And he's in the wall.
Oh no, I wonder if that can only mean one thing. Alex is shaking his head in the commentary box. Let's have a look.
He was closing onto the back of, it was Russell Laidler. Closing.
And
away.
And let's see what happens here. He's into Maggots. Oh, and he's lost it. Bang. Over he goes. Oh, dear me. I'm so dizzy, my head is spinning. And Colin Cunniff, well, we've said he needs a new PC. I don't know if that was hardware related or not, but it looked like it was. Dear me, the unluckiest man in the BSRTC. Somebody's taking the touring car line out of cops, unashamedly.
If you lose a race by 1,000th of a second, I think it sums up your luck as Ross Balfour closes in on the Alphalatech car of Michael Shellback. We've got a train here of 6 cars for the race lead on lap 5.
Yeah, and this is what we want from race 4. We want the reverse grids to shake us out a good final round. 6 cars battling over it, a 6-pack challenge. Let's see who's going to take it.
Now, Richard Gore got pole position in 2 of the 3 reverse grids last time we were here back in the Winter Series. I don't think they led to any race wins. I think the first pole position led to a disqualification in the following race.
Are the Apex cars just starting to hold up the rest of the field at the moment?
I think that's what's going on.
They've got quite the pace to get away here.
Ross Balfour's trying to get past Shellback in this train.
I mean, what's going to help the Apex guys here? Not that I'm biased or anything, but I can't say anything else. I'm sat next to the team manager here, but is that if the other guys start battling, especially if Baker gets involved with Chepelewski, which he actually is doing now, this might play into the hands of Fluke and Gore. So let's see if Baker goes up the inside.
Up the inside goes Cheppy. Cheppy was having a little look there on Jamie Fluke. Going into
somebody who is having
Beckett's.
more than a look is Ross Balfour. Ross Balfour's through on Michael Shellback. He's up into 5th place. And he looks like he's going to make that stick. We'll just see that through to its conclusion. Through Woodcote goes Balfour. Still has a slight advantage. Turns into Cops. Now, can he make this happen? Shellback tries to cut back. I don't think it's going to be enough for him. I think Balfour's taking the perfect approach there.
Lap 7 then.
Sorry, Adam, he almost lost control into Maggots. Back end of that Kia Optima twitching around. He might have the brake bias set quite rearward there.
Down the straight we go. David Baker picking up a bit of a toe, but I don't think it's going to be enough for him to get onto the back. I don't think, no matter how good you are on the brakes, it's not going to be enough to get up the inside there as Chepelewski nearly runs into the back of Jamie Fluke going through Brooklands.
Not unless you're at least some portion alongside, I wouldn't imagine, really, into the Brooklands. We've seen it done, but it's not usual.
Nathan Davis and Steve Hefford going at it, 2x2 out of Luffield.
I'm going to say this second pack looks like it's heating up quite nicely, doesn't it? Because Wojciech Svidovic is involved as well, look.
And yeah, he's trying to get up the inside as well as his teammate going into Cops. Done deal for Hefford, or not. You might lose out here.
Yeah, Svidovic is, I think he's accidentally bump drafted Nathan Davis past his teammate here.
See if it works out that way. It looks like Davis is back past both of them. Yeah.
So that didn't work out very well for Wojciech, did it?
Didn't work out for Sim Racer at all there. Here comes Shellback versus Baker, sorry. Battle for 5th place.
Yeah, and whoever gets through here can still make a challenge for the lead because there's still 8 laps remaining here at Silverstone. 7 at the end. Well, in a few seconds' time when they cross the line. Somebody's out. Who's that? Janowski.
So we've lost another Alphalatech car.
World Series champion. Let's see what happened to him. Don't tell me it was contact with his teammate. They're coming down the straight. Janowski in front of Laidler. And is this going to be contact into Brooklands? Teammate to teammate.
It is. Bang.
Yeah, it is. And, well, that's about the least surprising thing I've seen all day.
Oh, no, another Alphalatech car's gone.
Shellback.
It's Shellback, and I think it's Alex Simpson's favourite thing. I think the quarter panel is struck for the first time tonight going out of Beckett's.
It has indeed. The quarter panel in effect. Let's have a look at the replay. Here it is. So, Shellback side by side with Baker. And... oh, yeah. Oh, dear. Well, you would think these guys would be able to avoid that by now, wouldn't you?
It's like, it's now in Kia Optima folklore that you don't really do that. As Davis.
Davis at the head of this massive long train.
Featuring Baker and an Alphalatech car of Russell Laidler. Tell you what, they're dropping like flies here.
Well, Apex Racing.
Oh no!
Davis!
And there goes another Alphalatech car.
Oh my goodness me! I think they got you were saying dropping like flies. I think Davis just got the exterminators in there. You've got 4 or 5 different cars just plowing into each other. And this has just created all sorts of mayhem. This is like the last lap at Road America.
Up the inside goes number 4.
Mid-Ohio.
Davidovich, yeah. Oh,
We're going to get the same result in race 4. Oh, look, there's more contact there between Hefford and not sure who. Richard Gore leads, Jamie Fluke second. He's coming under pressure from Chepelevsky. Apex 1-2. And the driver who signed for Apex 4 next season, Stelian Chepelevsky.
Oh dear. 3
third
wide.
Place. So this could be quite awkward if... could be quite awkward, shall we say.
Yeah.
Depending on what Chepelevsky decides to do here. Of course, he's going for the race win for Alfa.
So in the future, this could be an Apex 1-2-3.
And that's what we're hoping.
Davis versus Savidovic. And
See what
Baker.
Wojciech Savidovic can do here.
Up the inside he goes into Brooklands. And that looks like a done deal.
Yeah, he's done well there. Davis has got quite severe damage on that Kia Optima, so I don't think he's going to be able to fight back. At least not to the degree he would want. Look at all these coming through Luffield.
Traffic jam here.
Big traffic jam. Gore leads, Fluke second, Chepelevsky third, Balfour in fourth, Savidovic fifth, Davis sixth. Then it's Baker, Hefford, Laidler and Rushworth. This whole pack goes down to 20th place. Andrew Whitehead. Look at this, Chepelevsky, look how close he is there, you can see it. Just inches away on your screen.
And I know Stellian signed for Apex Racing for next season, but I'm sure he doesn't give anything really about that at the moment. He wants to try and get this win for Alfa.
Well, he wants the Drivers' Championship for himself. He wants the Team's Championship for Alfa.
And Alfa, of course, want to take it away from Racer with CQR, who are leading the championship going into this race meeting and don't have much of a presence inside the top 5 at least. They have got Baker and Rushworth inside the top 10.
Ashley Sutton retired from the first 2 races.
Hasn't featured since.
Yeah, it's been a good meeting for Baker. It has been a good meeting for Baker and Rushworth, but not really for the rest of the team.
And you would have thought this would have been a good opportunity for Alfa to get some points. However, there's only 2 Alfa cars remaining inside the top 10.
Yeah, and speaking of Race Hub with CQR, there are the Race Hub with CQR cars. Michael Hall in 12th, Jamie Rushworth in 10th, and Dave Baker in 7th.
Rushworth trying to take a position away from one of the Alfa cars. That's Russell Laidler there.
Yeah, Laidler was involved in contact with his teammate earlier on. Doesn't want to be involved in contact with Jamie Rushworth here.
Then is this Rushworth trying to get the position? Yes, it is. So Laidler defending.
Oh, no room for Rushworth there. He thought twice, but look, Michael Hall's through on Pete Newman, it looks like.
And Newman, who was on the pole for race 2, got a podium, but he's now just fallen to 12th place. On to lap 14 then, the penultimate lap of the race. What's going on at the front? It's still as you were. It's Gore heading Fluke and Chepelevsky, then Ross Balfour 4th, 5th, Savidovic 6th, Baker 7th, Hefford 8th, Davis. Side by side continues between Laidler and Rushworth.
Yeah, and rest assured Chepelevsky's going to take any opportunity he gets. Take any extra positions, any extra points, extra podium credits going into the showdown rounds, which start very, very soon indeed. Rushworth side by side with Laidler once again into Brooklands. And this time, it's very, very clean and very, very nicely done by Rushworth. Laidler's trying to return the favour around the outside of Luffield. You're not going to get that done there. He has got a nice exit.
Next week we head to Imola, new race meeting for the series.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to that.
4 races around Imola.
BSRTC at Imola.
Final lap
Legendary circuit, some of the best corners in the world. Oh, and Chepelevsky switching away. You can see inside the cockpit of that Alfa car now. This is the view from Stelian Chepelevsky's car as he chases down Jamie Fluke and Richard Gore. And he pries any points and positions away from the Apex duo. Through Brooklands they go. Gore with the tight line, the wide line for Fluke. Fluke's not driving a particularly optimal last sector here. But it's not going to matter because for the final time tonight we have a race winner, and it's going to be Richard Gore for Apex Racing.
Second win of the season for Gore, and it's a 1-2 for Apex Racing. Jamie Fluke, when he finished on the podium in race 1, he gets a second place to add to that in race 4.
Delian Chepelevsky for Alphalatech in third. Fourth is Ross Balfour. Fifth was Dave Baker ahead of Hefford, then Davis, Rushworth, Laidler and Hall, but it's still going on down the field. Likes of Roy Viverkaten 26th. Nick McCarran 29th.
Smolenski 32nd.
Yeah, still coming over the line there. People like Michael Blake have just finished in 33rd. Wojciech Savidovic 1 lap down. Is that a timing glitch again?
That's a timing glitch again, yeah, he finished in 5th.
There we go. Yeah, I just saw him crashing down the timing screen there. I wonder what would happen on the last lap. But yeah, just a fault with the timing screen here. But there were no faults found with Richard Gore, Adam. He started really well. Led 15 laps again, just like George Simmons did in race 3. Led every single moment of this race and deserved the victory.
Started 5th and made his way to the leader in about 2 corners, of course helped by Cesaro Rizzo and Dan Hunt eliminating themselves within about 10 seconds of the race getting underway. And managed to escape. And then managed to escape the swarm of Kia Optimas that were attacking him from behind, and of course helped massively by his teammate Jamie Fluke, keeping Stelin Chepelevsky, Ross Balfour and Wojciech Savidovic at bay.
Yeah, which was not an easy thing to do indeed. Right, Adam, just take us through the final results for race 4. And what a meeting it's been here at Silverstone tonight.
Fantastic race meeting. Richard Gore takes the win then. Second win of the season. More podium credits for the Apex Racing driver. Jamie Fluke second. More podium credits for him as well. Stelin Chepelevsky third. Fourth, Ross Balfour. Fifth, Wojciech Savidovic. Sixth in his customary 6th, David Baker.
Yes.
Steve Hefford in 7th. Nathan Davis 8th. Jamie Rushworth 9th. And Russell Laidley in 10th. So we had 4 Alphalatech cars inside the top 6 to start the race. We ended with 2 inside the top 10. Maybe it's not the best thing to have all of you in one area at one time. 11th, Michael Hall. 12th, Pete Newman. 13th for Dan Kraft. 14th, Matt Bunn. 15th, Diogo Melro. Ricardo Ferreira, 29th to 16th. 17th, Andrew Whitehead. George Simmons, the race 3 winner, finishing in 18th. Michael Shellback quarter-panelled his way to 19th place. 20th for Paul Smith. 21st, Jay Wright. 22nd, Dan Hunt, from second on the grid. So add another 2 to that result. Rob Graham in 23rd. John Robertson 24th. Kip Stevens 25th. 26th for Stuart Atkinson. 27th for Roy Verke. Liam Atkins 28th. Ben Hackerson 29th. And 30th, Nick McCarran. Scott Malcolm 31st. 32nd, Alex Smolenski. 33rd, Lee Berridge. 34th, Michael Blake. 8 laps down, Julian Janovsky after eliminating his teammate and making a quick exit from the Silverstone circuit before his Alphalatech teammates get him. Rob Fagg finishing in 36th. 37th, Colin Cunniff. Tell you what, his exits get more and more intriguing. And
spectacular.
And 38th. After starting on pole position, Cesaro Rizzo. And credit to that YouTuber who prophesized Cesaro Rizzo's imminent departure before we even got to the race starting. He's finishing in last place, 38th.
I'll tell you, I know. Some people were so unlucky tonight, but there were some really, really good performances out there. And on more so in that last race than Richard Gore. Let's have a look who else had a good meeting. Dave Baker, despite the fact he was at the back for the first race. Michael Hall did well, as did Matt Bunn, Dan Kraft, Melro. There was some good performances, and it seemed like it was very difficult, Adam, for a lot of the people who were in the second half of the field to really make any hay.
Yeah, I think if you're starting really from position about 24 downwards, you're really struggling. I think Stelin Chepelevsky only managed to gain 1 position in race 3.
Yeah.
We know how quick he is. He was right with the guys at the front of the first race of the evening.
We didn't even get a chance really to see much of Kip Stevens or John Roberts, people like that at all. So, yeah, very, very difficult indeed. But you know what, a lot of guys made it work out there, and that's what makes the BSRTC what it is. If you have a good weekend, you make the right decisions and you make it work, you take home a lot of points.
Yeah, now we're heading into the unknown. Not for the first time in a BSRTC. Next week, the series continues. We're on our way towards the end of the season. And from Silverstone, we head to Bologna, really, in Italy, to the Autodromo Nazionale. No, wrong circuit. Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari. For 4 races at the Imola circuit. And as I get the calendar up, as the internet is playing havoc with me once again, after that, we will be heading on our way to... we'll be heading to Brands Hatch GP. So we'll be making a quick away trip from Great Britain, and then we'll be back in Brands Hatch. And then after that, things get interesting because the showdown will be getting underway.
Showdown will indeed, but I'm looking forward to Imola. It looks like we have an interview actually on tap. We do. And Adam, I see you're standing by actually with Richard Gore.
Richard Gore, it looked like a pretty easy fourth and final race for you. You must have had the best view in the world going into Copse. The waves parted and you were able to get the lead.
Well, I wouldn't say easy. It was still hard work. But yeah, I got a bit lucky. I saw them all go wide and I just went through on the inside. And thankfully, I had Jamie there to defend for me.
Yeah, I was going to say, it must have helped having Jamie Fluke behind. Helps you keep the lead and stop some quick drivers like Chepelevsky and Savidovic getting to you.
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty hard to pass here anyway. But when you've got Jamie behind, it makes it a lot easier to just run off, well, attempt to run off into the distance.
Well, next week, we were just saying before you came on, we head to a new racetrack, the Kia Optima at Imola. How's that going to fare?
Yeah, it should be quite fun. I've raced a few times with the Kia, and it's got a bit of everything. It should be some good overtaking. Should be a really fun track.
And with a good result for Apex Racing, do you still think the goal is to get the team's championship? You're not too far away from the race up team.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the points are right now, but I'm still in there with a shot, and the aim is to just get into the showdown, really.
Great. Well, before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anyone?
Just thank you to the Apex team. Thank you for Jamie for helping with that win, really.
Great. Well done on your second win of the season, Richard. And yeah, we'll see you at Imola for the next round of the BSRTC. And thanks for talking to us.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Well done. Great performance by Richard Gore there, Adam. And that pretty much caps off tonight's racing here at Silverstone. So from all of us here, from myself, Andrew Woodhouse, from Adam Bath, and from Alex Simpson, it's goodbye from Silverstone, and we'll see you next week at Imola for the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship here on Apex Racing TV. We'll see you then.